Hey everybody, this is Blue. How are we doing tonight? I'm doing okay. I just got done watching a video by a RPG YouTuber and I disagree with it in so many ways. Only agree with him on one aspect, and it is Condor DM. He was trying to tell people how to play the game. There really is no wrong way to play the game. You do you, okay? You need to do what feels good with how you want to play the game, how you play it with others. Yeah, at first you're going to have some bad times and all that. You're going to say, man, maybe I should do it this way, not that way. What can I use for this? What can I use for that? You need the experience to learn to make your game better. I think that's why you should ignore practically everybody's advice videos out here. What was the channel's name? The Lair DM or something like that, where he has so many damn videos telling you how you're doing it wrong. We learn more from doing things wrong than doing things right. We need to do things maybe weird and catch, hey, we can do this different in the next game and make our games better. And so I want to get into this video because it just needs to be discussed.
In my opinion, TTRPGs are meant to be played inside of your imagination. It doesn't matter what game. I don't think there's another way of doing it.
He doesn't think there's another way to do it. Well, that means he's got a limited mind because there's many ways to do it. Okay? Like I say, there is no wrong way. I mean, there's no rules on how many people you have to have in your gaming sessions. There is no set rules on what games you can play, what versions you can play. I mean, you do you. Do what makes you feel good.
I think these games happen inside of the mind. They are mind games, and they happen within the imagination.
Okay, yes, they happen in the imagination. But he's going to be complaining about the props we use during our games. And I just don't think he understands the game as well as he claims he does.
For that reason, I oppose most VTTs. And I oppose really detailed miniature figures and detailed terrain.
I don't like the virtual tabletops myself. That's the one thing I agree with him about. Because I think that they are too limiting. Doing homebrews like that, like I do. I have my own rules, and most computer systems, I believe, would take away from your ability to play the game in your unique rule systems. I also think that it takes away from the social of the game, and so I'm not much into the virtual tabletops and all that. I like getting the guys together and playing the game. I just think it's more fun that way. I like to keep the computers out of the gaming sessions. I can use the computer while designing and building and all that, but when it comes to the actual game, I don't like to have the computers involved.
In my opinion, you should have a sheet of paper and maybe a quarter to represent your character.
Sheet of paper and a quarter. And this is the standard that he has. Now, I'm a minimalist. I don't believe in spending more money than you need to for things. But if you want to have a standard that's beyond a piece of paper, do it. That's what I got. I use paper to write notes. But I spent the money. I got the hex boards. This is a dry erase hex board. And so I can create a 4 foot by 3 foot gaming board with these so that I could play the game with my guys. And, this covers a large area so that they could be kind of spread out and play the game so that everybody kind of knows where everybody's at. I think it's important.
If you are not doing pure theater of the mind. If you look at your figurine and you see your warrior, that's an issue. You should be trying to picture the warrior inside of your mind.
You can still have a miniature and imagine the characters in your head. You can do both. It doesn't take away. Sometimes, we need a representation so that everybody can quickly go, okay, that one's the barbarian, there's my wizard, and all that. They can't, it makes it quicker to having these types of representations, because if you have to go and okay, that's Mark and Mark is this. No, we need to be able to quickly go, okay, my barbarian's there and he's 4 hexes away from that orc over there. All right, we know what to do.
When you look at whatever is representing your character, you shouldn't depend on that representation as the image that goes into your mind, as a thing to replace the imagination.
We're not replacing the imagination. It is a prop so that we can keep everything organized. The bad thing about describing a piece of paper is sometimes that you don't have scales and all that, and it makes running the game harder. So I am very well planned and structured here for me.
Put something there that is like a quarter, that forces you to have to imagine your character in the scene. Same thing with detailed terrain. Sheet of paper, blocks, maybe some lines drawn to show you, your quarter is here, here's the wall, right? But for the most part, if you really want to know what that hall looks like, what the walls look like, you have to imagine it.
All right, so, like I said, I got my hex board, right? Love my hex board. It's a dry eraser, so I can take dry erasers on there and I could put some trees in there. I could put some walls. I could put a house in there. And so it's not paper. It's a little bit above that. All right. Representations of characters. We'll do the simple one here. Simple ones. Counters. Cardboard counters. All right. I have a lot of counters. These are small counters. This is used for your orcs and all that. I have bigger counters. These are 1-inch counters. I can use these for player characters, or I can put some in to represent a little bit larger case of foe. I have grabbed cardboard and I have created larger counters so that this could represent like a dragon. Maybe this one right here will represent a Balrog. I have a whole bunch of different sizes to represent an encounter, your opposition. Maybe it's actually somebody on your side, but we have to represent size, and so we use this instead of one of these. All right, now there's more. He wants you to, just have this piece of paper. Well, if you are using hexboard like this, okay, there's 6 sides to it. You need to be able to show how your character is in relationship with the map, because I have these right here. Now these are simple white plastic tags that I can put on stands, such as these right here. And so these are dry erasers, so I can wipe these off at any point in time. Now here's one for Nora Lee, a PC. Okay, see the F? Front. See the back? B. Okay? So that way we know how Nora Lee is facing. Nora Lee is a wizard. And so this is important when you are casting magic, okay? Because maybe Nora Lee, being an elementalist, is going to cast a firebolt. Now, a firebolt, you put our hand out and you shoot that firebolt out at your opponent. I have this right here. This is what I use to determine distance because, there are firebolts, at least in the Rollmaster system. You got your small ones, and they get bigger and more powerful. Well, we can tell what range. Maybe he only has a 5-inch range. So, right here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. This is as far as this firebolt can go. Maybe if he was a little bit higher level, he would be able to go up to 10, which I believe is right here. Okay, so we can tell distance. Okay, we want to have an accurate game, no guessing. And doing it this way, I don't have to grab the ruler and go, and he can go this way. Okay? Nice other thing about hex boards or grid boards, whichever one you want to use, you can say that your character can go 5 hexes. Okay, there's no grabbing, again, a ruler and go. He can go 5 inches, anyway. No, we got the simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. It makes gameplay faster. So, Nora Lee could also do a fire cone attack. I have my fire cones right here. So, and you can tell that you can kind of see my face through this. So when you lay this on the hex board, you can see the hexes and all that. And you can see who is in the area of effect of that cone attack. You get to then easily determine who's going to get damage and who's not. Okay? So that is important. And then finally, maybe Nora Lee is going to do a fireball attack. Okay, right here. Again, same type of plastic, and I could put the X that you see, right here, right above the area where Nora Lee is aiming at. And then I can go by the circles to figure out range for the area effect and who's going to get fried and who's not. Okay? It's an awesome way that I play the game. This is what works for me. And so I'm not trying to flex. I'm just trying to say there are so many ways to do things that, Condor over here is just trying to limit things. You can use anything if it works for you. These were simple little magnets, refrigerator magnets, but they're arrows. I put these on my board. So if I'm wanting to know which way the wind is blowing, I could put this right here so people know which way the wind's blowing. Or maybe I got to let people know which way the enemy's going. So if we have a mass unit moving, we can put the arrow over here and, saying that, showing which way they're going. Props are there to help visualize. And the more props you have out there, the more you can visualize, the better image you get in your head, and you get better results playing the game. Now, I don't know if I showed this one to you, but right there. This is the cardboard or paper cutouts that you can print off your offline here. And, they go into black stands, just like what I have my other items in. And so you can have a paper image. I mean, he says you can use paper. Well, this way you can kind of visualize your character. It just adds to the joy of playing the game. Okay, I think that Condor has forgot about if it makes the game more fun, go for it.
In your mind, if you're looking at the terrain and you're going, oh, that's the brick wall, and that replaces your imagination, you're doing it wrong. Detailed terrain.
Did you hear that? You're doing it wrong, according to him. So he thinks that you have to play it the way he demands it. This is a person that has this history of going and attacking people, complaining about people, and then goes and plays the victim. This is why I'm using the avatar here of Condor, because I'm going to use his own words against him. He's telling people that they're playing the game wrong. He is nobody special, okay? Just like I'm not special. I'm just another gamer, okay? But, so, what works for me might not work for you. I'm just showing you ideas and how I'm playing, and maybe you're going to think that would work good for me. I'm going to try it. And if it works, awesome. Okay? I try not to tell people that they're wrong here. There's going to be some common sense things I might have to point out with people, but the purpose is not to go around and elevate my ego by saying, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. No. There's just many ways to do it, and I might give some advice on something that maybe is a little bit more efficient. By doing it the way I'm doing it, with all the props, it helps visualize and helps people figure things out. If you have the detailed map, like using the hex boards, and you can see where everybody's at of your party, you can go and decide a little bit faster, well, maybe my character should not be here. Maybe I should move a little bit closer to the group so we can support each other. Okay, and that's why scale is important. You need to know that, am I close enough to use my short bow on those orcs over there? Well, if you have a piece of paper with just a few lines on it, it's going to be hard to tell. But with a hex board, you can go and say, I got 10 hex range, and I'm out of range. And move on. You think of some other option.
Miniatures belong only in war games. They don't belong in tabletop role-playing games.
Bull fucking shit. This is one of those common sense areas. Condor is one to say that the counters and all that only belongs in war games, and that's bullshit. Rolemaster actually came out with a supplement called War Law. They also had Sea Law, so that you can war game while role-playing. Now, this is important because maybe your game, the campaign that you're on, you are trying to fight some evil government, and maybe you are going up against a neighboring country in your campaigns, trying to weaken them and all that. If you are like a rebel, you are sometimes going to have to fight. And so, you're going to have to war game that game out. Maybe you have to war game a battle to find out if everything that you was figuring out will help out. Okay, so, and also it's just simply, it takes a little bit away from the climax if you're just going, and we defeated them without raising a sword. No. If you're having this epic battle where your country, who was in a bad way, fighting the superior force, and you're going to have to role play it, war game it, to figure out who won. And, so it is a part of role playing. Because sometimes you can do small scale, but sometimes you need to go full scale. Okay? And there's a lot of you out there that have probably role-played and wargamed. I'm over 50 years old. I used to wargame when Avalon Hill was, the premier gaming company. Okay? Because how many people have ever played Panzer Leader, Panzer Blitz, Squad Leader? Okay? I've played war games, and that's what's heavily influenced me on all this stuff, because of war games. I know how to use counters and spacing movements and all that. So to say that it's not a part of it is just, I think, wrong. Okay? Because if it's what works for me, then it works for me. And Condor should not have the say in what's right and what's wrong.
You're expected to use your imagination to picture the world, to picture your character, to play the game.
Okay, now, since he was just referring to wargaming, I can picture my battles. Okay, I have done some epic battles wargaming while role-playing. And yes, even though I just have, my counters on the map, you know what? I can still go, and there's my cavalry units right there. My cavalry is going on the left flank. They're going to go around, and they're going to attack those orcs from behind. Yeah! Okay? It's part of the game. We can make it part of the game. It adds to it. Adding restrictions, like Condor is doing, actually takes away from the game. Okay? So, you do you. Try different things. Experiment. Learn. That's what's important with the game.
If you wish to use some type of terrain and some type of miniatures, use a sheet of paper, draw some squares in, get some quarters, dimes, nickels, whatever you have, and have fun. Use some poker chips.
Now, again, what if you have a lot of people in your gaming group? Okay, like I said, I like to have 5 or 6 people. So, am I going to have 5 or 6 different colored poker chips and have people go, I was the blue one, you were the red one. No, you were yellow last time, I'm yellow this time. No, bullshit. Okay? That's why I have the counters. I could put their names on here. These are numbered, because these are what my opponents use, what I use for the enemy. But I have the pictured, cutouts right here. I got stands for them. I got my dry erase clips right here with their stands there. So I can do a lot of different things. I have a lot of flexibility. Again, flexibility is everything in the game. Do not put restrictions upon yourself unless you have already tried them and they don't work for you. Okay?
Don't waste your money on these items that don't belong in a tabletop role-playing game.
All right. I don't believe in wasting money too, and that's why I got the dry erase tags, because I can, after the game, wipe them clean, and I can use them hundreds and hundreds of times. My hex map, dry erase board. Okay, I can draw thousands of different terrains and all that on there, and it's wipe them off and reuse it. So it saves me money, and it also gives me flexibility. It's an awesome way to do it. I just wish Condor over here realized it.
Anyway, there is some food for thought for now.
His food for thought, I think, is poison. So I wouldn't be touching that food to save my life. But anyway, that's, I think, enough for this video. Condor, don't tell people what they should and shouldn't do. I mean, let everybody do themselves, okay? Let them set up their games and let them play the games in a way that they find enjoyable. If it doesn't work, they'll learn. They'll get better, okay? So everybody, please, have fun out there. Take care. Be at peace.